Chapter 7 Day at the Beach. The group traveled for hours. As the sun rose and the sky changed its color, blues and puffy clouds filled the air. Some of the clouds appeared in the shapes of creatures, some even smiled with the arrival of the new day. As the group continued along a path of dirt, the forest thinned and thinned. Dirt shifted into sand with every step. "Simone, look in the distance!" Zayak shouted. Sure enough, in the distance was an ocean front, with large purple crystals projecting into the sky from somewhere in the waters. The beach was just ahead of the group, with its peach-colored sand and tropical surroundings. "Wow! I don't know if I ever want to leave this place. It's so special." Simone was in admiration as he briskly walked along. "Looks like the star points over the water. Zayak, how do you think we'll cross?" Zayak reached the very edge of the ocean and breathed. "So thirsty. I hope this isn't salt water." Looney glanced up at Simone and said, "Now you don't want to leave?" Looney giggled. "And I thought you loved the physical world." Simone ruffled the back of his head. "Well, I really appreciate the beauty here. You just don't see things like this in my world." He surveyed the area, looking for something that might help them along. "You know, we haven't eaten in a few days either, and I'm a bit thirsty. Would you care to try to conjure up some water and food for us?" Zayak sighed. "You know that I could only do that on the 5th level." Zayak sat at the edge of the ocean and cupped his hands. "Should I try this water?" "I wouldn't if I was you." "Who said that?" Zayak asked. Simone spun around and asked, "Hello, who might you be?" "Down here," the voice demanded. Simone cast his gaze downward. "Boy, this world is full of little ones." A clamshell rested in the sand near his feet. "That's it. I'm the shell, speaking to you from Sandyville. Just kidding. How are ya?" "Well, clamshell from Sandyville, we'd be better if we had some food and drink. Do you know where we might get some?" Simone chuckled. The clamshell laughed. "That was a joke, you know, about Sandyville. Bet you didn't know there's a hot dog peddler that comes through here every afternoon. He hits the place a few hours just before the sun sets. He does this because, well, the boatman goes through here at night to pick anyone up who's looking to ship themselves across the ocean." "Wow, that's great! So what does the peddler and boatman use for currency?" "Sand dollars, of course. He has fresh drinks, too. By the way, sorry for not introducing myself properly. I'm Benny the Clam." "Why, hello, Benny. This here is Zayak, and this little guy in my pocket is Looney the Moonstone, and I'm Simone." He gestured as he spoke. "Sand dollars, eh? That ought to be easy, right, Zayak?" Zayak nodded. "Yeah, should be." Zayak went straight to digging in the sand dunes. Benny seemed to beam when it noticed Looney in Simone's pocket. "Well, howdy there." Looney felt shy as it blushed. "Greetings, Mr. Benny." Simone dug Looney out of his pocket. "Aw, how about I let you two mingle while me and Zayak go looking for sand dollars?" Looney sat next to Benny and they started chattering. Meanwhile, Zayak combed the beach. He checked under the rocks, and even under a turtle. "Boy, I'm becoming even thirstier," Zayak whined. Simone flipped his shirt and jumped into the water, searching. "You should enjoy the water. It's fabulous." Zayak walked to the edge of the ocean again and mined his hands in the water. Zayak didn't feel safe with the idea of swimming. Simone dived deeper and dug around, then rose back up for air. "Hey, Zayak, I think I see some wedged on a boulder. I'm going to dive deeper and see." With that, Simone took a large breath and dove down deeper than before toward a rock. Surely enough, there was at least 5 sand dollars stuck to the side of the large boulder. Simone questioned if they truly were sand dollars. Then he realized His eyes did not deceive him. Simone worried about his air running out in his lungs. "Come on, Bobby, just a little farther." Simone reached his arm out for the dollars. $1 fell off. The stone had drifted in the water, but the other 4 was stuck. He snatched up the first one and made a leap for the others. Soon the others scraped off, and Simone had a total of 5 sand dollars. Struggling not to breathe in the deep water, as he rose back to the surface, he gasped for air. "Whew! I found 5, Zayak!" Simone yelled as he made his way back to shore. Zayak shouted back, "I finally found some." Zayak had dug a few out of the sand on the beach. He neared Simone with 3 sand dollars in his hand. "I found 3. That means we have 8 in total," Benny shouted. "And here comes the peddler! Right on time!" Benny was right. It was late in the evening when the peddler would appear. Simone gave his dollars to Zayak, while he grabbed his shirt to dry off. "That's perfect timing. Hey, Looney, did you have fun with Benny?" Simone asked as he waltzed up to the two and observed. Looney smiled. "Oh, yes, he was telling me all about a friend of his and their good old days." The peddler hollered as he pushed his cart towards the group. "Refreshments! Get your refreshments! Bottled fresh water from the other side, and other great things, tentacle free! Fresh, hot meals ready to eat! Come and get 'em!" The cart was wheeling closer and closer to Benny, who lay on the sand. "Ah, he's coming closer to me!" "Oh, come on, Zayak! Let's get some grub." Simone snatched up Looney and ran to Zayak. Benny sighed. "I feel so alone. Don't wheel me over. Ba ha ha wah." Simone paused when he heard Benny yelp. "Benny, did you want to join us?" "I'm such a neglected shell." Benny stopped. "Wait. Yes, grab me before the crazy peddler wheels me over." The peddler wheeled closer and closer, shouting out slogans. "Sure, you can join us." Simone snatched up the clamshell and stuck it in the same pocket as Looney. "You don't mind, do you, Looney?" Looney flushed. "Oh, geez, Simone." Benny appeared to grin. "I like it in this pocket right here. Don't mind me as I get comfortable." Looney gave a scrunched expression as Zayak walked over to the peddler. "I'll take a hot dog and bottled water, please." The peddler handed out the merchandise and requested 2 sand dollars, please. Simone jogged over. "What else do you sell?" The peddler paused and stared at Simone. "Sir?" Simone pondered the peddler's expression. "Are you all right?" "I'm surprised. I swear I saw you before." Benny rolled his eyes. "Here we go again." Simone whispered to Benny, "What do you mean, again?" Then coughed and spoke to the peddler. When?" Benny muttered, "Maybe he lost his marbles, if you know what I mean." The peddler spoke. "Yeah, I sold a hot dog to another man about your height. Huh. Maybe it wasn't you after all. Anyway, all I sell is hot dogs and bottled water." "All right. How much is that boat that comes along here?" "The boat charges 1 sand dollar per passenger, and a clamshell must be added for any 2 passengers." "A clamshell?" Simone peered down at Benny. "Benny, is that all right with you? Or should we find another clam? I don't want Looney and you heartbroken." "Oh, that's fine. At least I'm making myself useful," Benny replied as Looney appeared grateful. "So you want a hot dog and water or not?" the peddler asked. Simone estimated the cost. "I'll take 2 hot dogs and water, please." He glimpsed over at Zayak's food as Zayak bit into it. "That'll be 2 sand dollars," the peddler said as he handed over the goods. "Great!" Simone paid and snatched the food from the peddler, then took a seat by Zayak. The peddler walked towards the forest and disappeared. As Zayak sat on a rock overlooking the ocean, he felt the cool breeze dance in his blue-colored fringe. who took another bite of his hot dog and noticed its soft texture. It had a fishy taste. Zayak compared eating his hot dog to eating a fish fillet sandwich. "How relaxing! Now all we must do is wait for the boat," Zayak said as he watched seagulls fly over the setting sun. "Ah, man, I can't believe how beautiful this place is. Just look at that sunset," Simone continued to dine. "Glad I can share it with you, Zayak." Zayak peered at Simone as Simone was stuffing his face. Zayak giggled lightly. "Me too." Simone nodded with a grin and said, "So what do you think is on the other side of the ocean?" "An adventure with you, I'm sure." Zayak grinned and reached for Simone's hand. As he spoke, a small rowboat drifted over the ocean waves towards the beach. Simone took Zayak's hand in his and smiled with a twinkle in his eyes before he replied, "I'm sure it will be." The two watched as the sunset painted the skies. The crystals jutting from the ocean made for a fantasy as the rowboat neared closer and closer to the shore.